Howdy, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Stating the Goddamn Obvious.
Wait,
Today, what?
How many different variations of this welcome back do you think you have? Because I know you have goddamn obvious. You have, I know you have just the normal welcome back. I'm curious. Do you use any other ones?
I try to keep it generally pretty consistent. You know, we want to have those consistent intros
That is true.
for our listeners. So there's a sense of familiarity. So you don't want to stray too far away from the regular type of intro, but sometimes you wanna mix it up. You know, the obscure mix up.
That's true. I do enjoy the obscure mix up from time to time.
The obscure mix up, yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stating the Goddamn Obvious. Now we're going to proceed to our regularly scheduled intro, everybody, and this time we're starting with Jacob. Jacob, why don't you state something obvious for us?
Something obvious that I thought about the other day, actually, was your tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth and is constantly being acted upon by your muscles, but you just never realize it because it feels
Isn't
so
your
natural.
tongue just like one big muscle?
Yeah, but it's attached to a whole bunch of other muscles which control its movement.
Yeah. Have you guys seen those like MRIs of like people's like tongues moving like when it's like side on? It's disturbing.
I have not, and I would like to see them
also
right now.
Like you think of your tongue as just like that like little flappy bit in your mouth, but it's like a whole like muscle column that goes down your throat. It's huge, honestly. And it's kind of weird to think about.
I have, in fact, seen these.
Isn't the having the tongue on the roof of your mouth, isn't that called like mewing? I feel like I've read about this somewhere. People are like, oh, it'll make your jawline super OP.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I just know it naturally usually rests on the
I saw one YouTube video of this. Who's that doctor YouTuber? Dr. Mike
I know
or
what you're
something?
talking about.
Yeah, he looks pretty attractive. That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He did this one like review video about. There's this like one guy on Instagram or something who has the omega jawline basically, and it's so pronounced that the shape of his face is very weird. Apparently he like trained like his jawline using some tool, and he like kept on biting out at it and basically trying to form it very very pronounced. I'll try to find a picture of him, but
That honestly sounds like a body image problem.
Yeah.
For some,
I feel like if you want a really nice jawline, you just have to lose like fat. If you just lower your body fat percentage, you'll lose like some of the fat in like your cheeks.
Probably.
I'll put the image in chat.
Okay.
I
So
will
we can see
everybody
it,
can see
but
it.
our listeners, our listeners can definitely see the chat right now.
Well, I mean,
Nice.
I'm just like for you guys, I'm sure.
Just for us. Very nice.
All right, yeah, you want to describe this image?
Oh my
Oh
days!
my god.
Yeah.
It honestly looks photoshopped. But
Dude, this guy's face looks like the prow of a ship. It's like
I mean, he has videos and stuff too, so this
It's
is actually how his
hydrodynamic,
face
man.
looks like. Yeah,
This guy is honestly just
to describe, it's basically everything starting at his lip and below. Like his chin is basically a triangle.
Should we put on the Insta? I feel like
yeah, we can put on the Insta. And we will tag him, and then he will share it.
exactly,
That
and
is-
then the podcast will blow up.
It'll
Just
blow
keep
up.
the Insta. Keep the Insta.
Yeah.
Okay.
high-key disturbing.
You'll see.
And
Wow.
His mandibles just like moved so
This is
far.
like
He's
not
just a
okay.
praying mantis.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, he's a bit he needs help.
He needs
I
help.
think. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll leave that be. We'll let this man exist with his jawline. Noah, why don't you say something obvious for us?
Waking up dehydrated is honestly like one of the worst feelings.
It just feels like you're dying.
Dude, I woke up this morning and I was just like like
That's kind of amazing.
like
though.
you ever like wake up and like you're like the first sensation is just intense discomfort. That was my morning.
That was my birth.
Wait. I mean, honestly, it's probably true.
Okay, but like, let's be honest. Like, how comfortable can you be really when you're like bored Like that can't be like a good experience.
I mean, like, Cobb, isn't there like some thing where like you're supposed to struggle when you're being born? Like people born in C-sections like experience greater problems because like they're not
C-sections
like...
just in general experience greater problems because if you're doing a C-section,
I was a C-section, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a C-section.
And now we know why Viswa has so many problems.
For real, dude. For real. I swear.
It starts at birth.
I swear I have more allergies because of it. On God.
It starts at birth.
Yeah. I mean, nearly everything can be traced back to, like, embryology and stuff. Which is, it's like, great. Because your heart and stuff, like... So when you're... One of the craziest things that I learned about was, like... Okay, so when you're being formed as a fetus, right? Obviously, your lungs and your heart, they're not working. So in order for, like, oxygen and blood flow to get through, you have a hole in your heart to let, like, oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood and all that stuff mix, right? Your lungs, they're not obviously doing anything. They're not oxygenating any blood. So there's a hole in your heart. Some people, that hole never... Usually, like, when you're born, that hole fills up with muscle. Some people, it never does. And, like, their oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood are just mixing.
Oh, I was born with like a hole in my heart, but I think it just took longer than usual to close up. It's not like I still have it, I think.
I mean, some people when they're like 50 or 60, they have it, and then they just never realize it because it never causes a problem. Some people have their nerves, like the nerves in their neck, they have problems with their heart if there's something wrong with their neck because the heart forms in the neck, and then it travels downward.
Oh, what the hell?
That's like an evolutionary thing because like...
Why?
Like in fish, right? Which is like the origin of all mammals, fish. Yeah. Like the heart is right next to the neck, so it forms there. Like even in a giraffe. So then it just like in a giraffe. We watched this dissection of a giraffe, and like you'd think it'd be like the heart, since the neck is so long, it'd be more energy efficient to just form the heart in the chest cavity. But no, like their heart forms in the neck and travels all the way down, and there's a nerve going all the way down their neck, just like in humans.
Right?
Yeah. When it wraps around your aorta, it goes back up to the neck. There's this nerve called the vagus nerve, right? And it does all your heart, lungs, and like part of your abdominal tract. Starts in the brain, goes all the way down to the heart, loops around the aorta, and goes all the way back up to like your larynx and stuff, and innervates that.
Yeah.
Is that why people say their like heart dropped? Just because it literally did.
I guess so.
Where did the balls form?
They form in your abdomen. Like, I love how you... That's immediately... Whenever we talk about, like...
No, like what Jin said, like... is that why people say when your heart drops? I was like, people also say when your balls drop.
Yeah, well,
oh my
God. That's like more of a real thing, like balls dropping, because they form in your abdomen, and then while you're still a fetus, they'll like drop down.
But don't people like can't it be like pushed back up or something? I feel like you can mention this.
Back up, it can not drop. Sometimes it doesn't drop. Sometimes stuff gets pushed back up. Sometimes your intestines go into the scrotum, and that's a real problem.
Oh,
that's like,
yeah.
You know, the other day, I had searched this up of the world record for the biggest shit, and someone
course you did. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, why would you? It's an interesting question. Because I was thinking, because I have to pee a lot,
Yeah,
I was thinking,
why would I know that?
Well, I know
we've talked about this before.
Every time we went to any debate tournament, anything, and it was constantly in the bathroom for probably half the day.
Not half the day, but I drank a lot of water. Okay, regardless, I was thinking, and so apparently someone they hired a doctor in order to do this Guinness Book World Record, but the shit was I think it was like 20 feet or something. It was as large as their large intestine.
Jesus Christ!
It just filled the entire intestine, and then they just shat it all out in one go.
That is disturbing.
Yeah, really is.
Also, I was watching some of those videos about the tongue, and Jesus Christ, it was way more disturbing than I thought it was. It's like an actual just ball. It's just a like a ball.
Well, what did you think it was? Like,
I don't know. I just thought it was the top part of the tongue we experience.
Yeah, it's like one of those animals that puts a lure outside of its den.
Yeah, it looks like an animal. It just looks like an animal.
It's like the angler fish, with it's little lure, and you're like, oh, it's like your tongue. It's like this cute little flappy thing, but no, it's like this huge monster just like lurking beneath.
Yeah.
You know, the tongue per square inch, the tongue is the strongest muscle you got.
I have heard this. It also looks so weird when you speak German.
Yeah,
it's just so violent and aggressive.
I mean, German is just a very.
That's why I know I chose German actually in high school. Like,
I mean, honestly, like German was like probably easier to learn than like Spanish or French, because the thing I love about German is that like all the like letters in the word you make those sounds, like there's no silent letters, right?
That's
so like
the
if
same
you
thing
read
with Spanish. That's the exact same thing with Spanish.
Oh, really? That's not the case
like,
of French.
Spanish just has like other like
That is
letters, like the NEA and
not
stuff.
The case of French.
Okay.
Yeah, French is like you don't pronounce like 99% of everything in the word.
I think like honestly I blame like a lot of the parts about English I don't like, I blame the French.
I just blame the French regardless.
Yeah.
No, Jit blames the British.
True. Fuck the British, by the way. Except Emma Watson was like,
oh my god, man. You would honestly betray your people for what? A simp?
Yeah.
Yes.
You disgust me.
What about Yelena? She's British.
Wait, she is?
Oh, that is true. It's Florence.
Well, Yelena is Russian. Florence.
No, the actress.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying Florence Pugh is British.
But also, like, I really like Yelena, like the character Yelena.
Yeah, that is Jit's character. That is Jit's type of girl. Like, yeah, it is.
I mean, it's the kind of girl
You've
that we
seen her
all
in
want,
Hawkeye,
but
right,
we'll
Jit?
never get.
Yeah, I've seen all of Hawkeye.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, it was quite OP.
Indeed.
But now we wait for the more Marvel shows. Anyways, Pranay.
Yeah,
Pranay.
you know what? Keeping on this trend of medical stuff, something as obvious is when you get those cuts where you don't know where they came from, and then one day it just starts hurting, and you're just like, what the fuck? Why? That is bad.
Nice.
I love how
getting random cuts is bad.
This could have been an obvious fact, but the way PJ presented it was so bad.
I honestly, see, I didn't. It was kind of like an impromptu thing. I didn't really think about this before. I was just like, you know what? Let's come up with a fact. Just think about something that I don't like.
Pranay asked Jit, like, can I go last so I can segue into the next topic? And he still wasn't prepared.
I mean, I prefaced also that I'm just going to come up with something.
Still,
look, it was really tragic what had happened because we went to Noah's, obvious fact, and then we somehow ended up on all the medical stuff. Yeah, I was like, if Noah went last, this would have been perfect. But now we have to remember it. So I was like, this is a bit tragic. But you know what? We're back on that.
Cobb, this leads into my medical question for you for today, which is our segment, Cobb's medical question segment. So I was thinking about this once.
Medicine with Cobb. What do you mean Cobb's medical question segment? It's medicine with Cobb. Okay. We have naming conventions. Stick to them, please.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta come up with a song for this.
So when a person gets like a deep cut, they usually get stitches, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how does the skin grow back when you don't use stitches?
I mean, it can still grow back. It's just gonna take a much longer time, and there's a higher chance of infection.
Yeah, like I guess so say you have like a big gash in your skin. Does it grow from like creating skin from the bottom up, or does it like create skin from outside in?
No, it goes bottom up. Because the bottom stuff's the stuff that's keeping it alive, and the top stuff's the stuff that's just protecting it. Right? Like,
interesting.
First off, like stitches and stuff, like the vast majority of things you even do in medicine is like prevent infection. Like if you were in an isolated bubble and like you got a super deep cut, like it would heal over time as long as you didn't lose like too much blood. Right?
You wouldn't need to do anything.
You wouldn't really need to do anything. But like since the real world is like full of infection, and then that's like a lot of problems, a lot worse problems. That's why like, and it also makes the process go faster, obviously.
So what do stitches do? Does it just close it up and make sure that you don't get infection stuff inside?
First off, just like physically closing it so that it's harder for bacteria and stuff to get in. Also, it brings this the edges of the skin that's like all right back together, so it can heal faster.
I see.
Actually, on top of this, Cobb, if you have like other animal skin grafted onto you, like what happens to that skin? Because like I've seen pictures of like a person, like a burn victim, right, where like he had like fish skin grafted onto his legs. Like, what happens to the fish skin?
He gets skills.
He
And now
gets skills. And then
Aquaman.
He becomes Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know too much about that kind of stuff, but, like, I would assume that, like, somehow, like, some of your cells, like, get in there, too, and then over time, like, your DNA would replace the fish skin, and your macrophages would just eat the rest of the fish skin, and then eventually your skin would be there. But I'm not, like, entirely sure about that.
I just like how we kind of assume that Cobb literally should know
He does
everything about all medicine everywhere.
I mean,
like we're
Cobb,
I'm like, hey Cobb, what vitamins should I take to help my skin and hair growth and all that stuff?
I mean, look, Cobb like ACMCAT, like he's a god of medical biology.
Have you even taken the MCAT yet, Cobb? You have.
Look. No, he scored a perfect score. Like, what do you mean?
Yes.
Because like we all know if he didn't score a perfect score, he would be off the podcast.
Rip.
So obviously he got a perfect score.
There would be no more medical Cobb.
Medicine. Oh my days, Renee. Is it that hard? No, we just assume Cobb's a medical encyclopedia.
I mean, I was kind of able to logic my way out of that one.
Yeah.
What if now, instead of us just genuinely like asking him questions, we just try and get him with something he won't know?
For some reason, PJ's questions are always about like reproduction. Like, it's always.
What about this question?
Yeah, this one was a bit of an obscurity. It's an outlier for you, honestly.
Why
Like, I mean,
are
the
you
last
asking
question
this?
you asked me is if you cut a pregnant woman's boob in half, will
Oh,
start coming out?
Yeah.
Like,
I honestly forgot about that, and now I wish I hadn't remembered.
Like, aren't you just unsure, like, where it's stored, you know?
Oh my god.
All right, well, we should probably move on from here before Pranay asks some other dumbass question about some other disgusting part of the body.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wait, so you guys still want to talk about medicine, or are we moving past the medicine?
Well, I know PJ has recently become infected with something.
Yes, indeed. I have tested positive for COVID, and I'm actually out of isolation today.
So, were you asymptomatic or what?
Yeah, it was very weird because I was very asymptomatic. I did not feel any different this past week, and people around me that also tested negative. So I'm unsure where I got it from, and I do not think I gave it to anyone.
Let me ask. How did you decide to go and get tested if you weren't feeling like sick or anything like that?
Hey, it's just a regular thing you have to do here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, see me, will be like, "Yo, test." I'm like, okay.
So good on them.
Yeah, it's part of like some required thing. If you don't test very regularly, they'll start shouting at you.
Or, here, if you're, you don't have to test if you're vaccinated, but if you're unvaccinated, you have to test. And if you like just skip the test or don't show up or whatever, they cut off your Wi-Fi access.
Oh, I feel like you had mentioned this, but I think that is like the honestly best way to go.
That's the biggest thing they could do.
Yeah.
I mean, Colin honestly just doesn't give a shit. Like, not.
I don't think that's. I don't know what they would do.
I mean, most of the people there don't even wear masks, so I doubt there's any testing.
Yeah, probably not.
But you were fine pretty much, Renee? No loss of smell?
No loss of smell? No, I mean, I usually can't really because of allergies.
That's a mood.
So that wasn't, but no fever, no more like runny nose, no more coughing.
No sore throat.
Yeah.
I feel like people who have gotten it they're just like, yeah, it's just like sore throat for like a day, cold, and then like I'm good.
But I also think those are people our age.
Yeah. Also, I don't understand how some people get it and some people don't, because Renee, you were with your girlfriend basically since you had arrived at Pitt, right? And
pretty much every day.
And then you tested positive,
Yeah, it's
She tested negative.
yeah. I don't even understand, man.
I think the only conclusion to draw is that Renee's cheating on his girlfriend.
Oh, what? All right, let's hear the explanation.
I mean, obviously, his girlfriend.
New segment, explanations with
his
no.
girlfriend is COVID negative. Prene's COVID positive. Obviously, Prene's been like doing some backdoor dealing with like a COVID positive person. Like, there's no other way this could happen. Absolutely no other way.
I love how Noah phrased that as backdoor dealing.
Backdoor dealing. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spell it out for you, Ari. We all know what's going on here.
Are there any truth to these allegations?
There are no truths to these allegations.
Lies.
None.
Absolute lies.
Okay.
What if we just have like court one day as a podcast episode? We need a
Judge
judge.
Jacob.
We'll just get
Judge Jacob. Starts
no,
with the J.
we need 2 lawyers. Then we need like the, and we need like a 5th person.
Yeah.
We'll just get Buck, and then
Fuck
he
him,
will be the
Fuck him.
judge.
Yeah.
And then the sentencing will just be like, you dumbass.
I need to hear Buck say this again. I can't go on without hearing him say it.
You can't go on with it anymore.
I can't. He needs to say it now.
All right. We'll make it happen for you.
Okay, very good.
Oh, we're glad you're okay. We're glad you survived COVID.
Yeah.
What a hero. What a champion.
But
for Panera.
I mean, like the pandemic's been going on for so long. Like, it's honestly hard to remember a time before the pandemic at this point.
Yeah, like even looking back on like our high school and like debate stuff, like it just seems so like I can't even imagine the world existing in that state anymore.
We were so young. We were so innocent.
It was so nice.
Freshman
it
year.
was so nice.
Freshman year is when. I had a meeting with a professor recently. We were talking about this. I don't know how it came into conversation, but we were just talking about all the tech stuff that we got because of COVID. Like, to be fair, we got a mic originally for podcasting. Like, I got a mic originally for podcasting, but I think I might have gotten it if we didn't start the podcast if it was just COVID.
Oh yeah,
because it is pretty useful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there are like silver linings that you could find.
Yeah,
like,
but
like a lot of people have like way better home offices now. Like just
I got a PC over COVID.
Tech in general has improved across like almost all businesses and like college campuses and stuff. Like
still no chips though.
Good. Rip what?
Still no chips though.
True.
No, but like the reason why I brought it up is because I read an article that said that over the last year there's been like 1 million excess deaths in Russia, which is like not only COVID deaths, but like also like all other probable like related deaths, like people who like die of like a stroke or a heart attack because they can't get medical attention, things like that. And it's just insane to me. Like, I don't know. I mean, like we're reaching the point where the death toll is like in the millions, probably like tens of millions.
Yeah, that's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Well, what percentage of the population did the Black Plague kill?
Like a third. But
yeah, something huge like that. But
so it would be
the world population.
No, Europe.
Okay, it's like.
Okay. What about the world population?
I mean, the world population, I'm pretty sure was like. Actually, I don't know. Was it largely unaffected? Because the Black Plague started out in China, and then it migrated west, and then.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Yeah. It's a recurring trend.
God. Yeah. It took Renee a second.
Oh no! According to Wikipedia, Black Death killed 30 to 60% of the European population.
Yeah. I mean, I said a third because like that's like the lower estimate.
More than 50 potentially.
Yeah. I mean, like you go to like the effect of like virus or disease on the Americas, like when the Europeans got to America, like diseases killed like 90% of the people who lived here.
Yeah, more than any like war or any like conflict, right? Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. But also like in Europe, they didn't know what they were doing. Like they didn't know how to deal with it, right? Like everything was still super unsanitary. Doctors would go around just like draining people of their blood and shit and like using like leeches and all that garbage. So
leeches actually work. That's actually like a legit thing.
I am so glad that like I live in a time where going to the doctor doesn't involve with a doctor just like stabbing you and being like, come back in like a week and see if you're better.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be in the current age.
They also had phases too. They had variants in the Black Plague. They had the first, the second, and the third.
Yeah, I mean, it kept coming back. Just like coronavirus, probably.
How did it end up going away? Do we just?
I think vaccines, modern.
Do we just science it out?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it just
Probably
like
hygiene, maybe.
killed enough people, and then they just like.
I mean,
Sure
it was
just like
there was like the first like big like pandemic, which was like Black Death, everyone knows about, but like it came back like from now and then, like every like 50, 100 years. Like I remember Isaac Newton apparently, like when you went to college, like that was during like a period where like the Black Death like came back, so you have to deal with that.
There are still places today that deal with like Black Death.
Oh yeah, like it's still around.
Yeah. Apparently, a quick Google search has taught me that the most popular theory of how the plague ended is through the implementation of quarantines.
Lol.
It's actually kind of insane. Like I remember reading about like a village in Europe where like they got the Black Death, and they voluntarily like closed themselves off from the outside. So like nobody from the village would leave, nobody was allowed in, and then you got now where people are like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not wearing a mask.
It's truly a tragedy.
I was listening about this on videos too. Culturally different countries. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of obvious to us once we think about it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Like in Korea and Japan, the culture is of there's a lot of greater good culture, and so it is a lot easier to get people to wear masks because it's just a matter of fact thing to do.
That was the thing before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, and so it was very easy to implement different stuff to combat corona.
I also think that's just in general East versus West difference.
That's true.
Yeah. Also, but isn't there that sort of theory that if you grow up in a super quarantine, stay away from all sorts of infections, diseases.
Yeah.
You're worse off for it because you don't build immunity to literally anything.
That's what they say. They say if children, when they're toddlers and stuff, eat a tiny bit of dirt, it's actually beneficial.
You just put a little bit of dirt into their everyday diet.
Because they'll be bacteria, and then they'll build immunity to it over time.
Well, let's be real.
80% of people right now have MRSA on their body. You know what MRSA is?
I have no idea what that is.
What is this?
MRSA is a flesh-eating bacteria that
Middle East respiratory syndrome.
Huh?
It's a super bug.
Was it Middle East respiratory syndrome or something like that? Or no, is that something else?
It's MRSA.
Well, you said it's a skin-eating bacteria?
It's a flesh-eating bacteria.
It's methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus.
I guess we just have multiple superbugs to worry about.
What is Staphylococcus? That's a word, right?
It's
a fun word.
It's a shape. The shape of the bacteria.
Yeah,
I
remember this.
I tried to figure out a Staphylococcus dick or something like that, but I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Is Staphylococcus dick in your mouth?
Basically, the Staphylococcus bacteria is a sphere. Instead of a long rod, it's a sphere.
Yes. The Staphylococcus in balls.
Let's see.
All right.
Wait, but this is okay.
Yeah, yes. But the majority of people have this some of these bacteria on them. It's just your immune system is killing them, so it can't really do anything. But also once they cluster up and once they decide, hey, we're going to eat this person's flesh, there's not much you can do.
Damn.
So then why don't we hear about cases where people's flesh is just getting eaten by seemingly nothing?
Well, your immune system is working to keep these things apart from each other. That's why if you've been completely
So then
isolated,
how often does do they all group up?
If you have some autoimmune disorder, or you're not cleaning yourself properly, or you're not taking care of your immune system, stuff like that causes caused it to happen.
Oh, I could have lived my entire life not knowing this.
Well, now you know.
But now I know at any point these things could just randomly decide to become like a
Well, like,
challenger
more
team
than
in like
likely-
group, and then fucking just eat me, bro. Like what?
More than likely, it's not going to do that because your immune system is like kind of OP.
Yeah, but you're still rolling the dice.
God, you're stressing me out.
I
God.
mean, there are antibiotics that you can use to treat it, but like sometimes if it like progresses too far, the only option is amputation. Otherwise, it'll spread.
Stop! Stop! Have you considered just shutting up? We're moving on. We're moving on, guys. The Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics happening soon. It's soon. It's soon. It's 3 weeks. It's soon.
Wait, how soon is it?
In like 2 weeks, right? It starts the 10th or the 12th, I believe.
What, into? Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, here's a fun fact. All of the
Oh, no, it
athletes at
starts
the
next
Winter
Friday.
Olympics.
Yeah, it starts literally in in a week, in like
Yeah.
5 days.
Damn.
Damn.
Is that the one
Well-
in Beijing? Like,
Yeah.
It's in Beijing.
Yeah.
What events do you guys like the most? To watch the most in
For
winter?
winter.
Yeah.
I like figure
I mean,
skating.
Yeah, figure skating
pretty
has
cool.
to be
Yeah.
like one of the best events
I
to watch.
don't watch the Olympics.
I could have guessed that from a mile away.
I could have guessed that from Africa.
I
Yeah.
feel for me, what is that
Hurling.
curling? It's just very calming for me to watch for some reason. It just, I don't know, it seems very calming.
Also, like the speed skating. Like,
Oh
these
yeah,
guys
Ooh,
are
that's
that's
very
pretty
flying.
cool.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're speed. I also like ski jumping and snowboarding. I still think those are cool.
Oh,
What
and,
is slalom? The one where you just go and ski and you go like left and right?
Yeah.
Is that just cross country skiing?
No, there's one
No.
specifically where you have to like reach certain, like cross country is where you're skiing for a long time. I'm talking about the one where you go downhill very fast and you try to.
Oh, is that alpine skiing?
Maybe, I do not know.
It's like the
I have no
slalom
idea
thing,
either.
right? That's where
Yeah.
you go left and right, and like you have to hit the flags. Like they always hit the flags.
I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, you have
yeah,
to
are
hit
they
the
supposed
flags.
to hit the flags? By the way, they always just like run into them.
You're,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
you're supposed to go on a certain side of the flags. It doesn't matter if you
Yeah.
hit them or not.
And I think like the closer you go to it, like the less distance you have to travel.
Yeah,
So,
so it's
yeah.
faster. That makes sense.
Also, bobsledding and stuff. Like these guys
Bobsledding
are
is
flying down
also
the
quite
track.
satisfying. Yeah,
Cool runnings.
Hello.
they just go like ba 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 and they hop in.
And like if you're not
The
careful
thighs
with
are
it, like
massive.
there's if you're not careful, there's like no guardrails. Like people have like fallen off the track before.
Oh shit!
Like they're just like
What
flown
do
off
do
the
you
track.
know what they do inside the actual thing?
I have no idea.
Like, did they
themselves
lean a certain
aerodynamic.
side, or did they just sit there?
Yeah, they all lean a certain way to
They have to
turn.
lean, yeah. There's actually like quite a bit of like bobsled tech.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's nutty, dude.
God, I'm just imagining if all of us were in a bobsled, it would be just chaos.
Hey, we need a 4-person team for bobsled, so we can do it.
Hey,
Huh?
check us out next year.
Next,
Winter Olympics.
next 4 years.
Next
Next
Winter
4
Olympics.
years. I'm high. Next 4 years, yeah.
We'd all just,
stating
like-
the obvious pulls up as our own country.
Oh yeah.
By that time, we would have established our own country. Let's be honest, guys.
I mean, like, I'm just thinking about like how it would work. Like, who would call for like the leans? Because we'd all just like
Jeff-
end up
Jeff.
leaning different ways.
What's up, Gob?
Jit would call the leads.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
This Winter
also-
Olympic. Oh, rip. Well,
Okay, yes, Gob.
This
Finish.
Winter Olympics specifically, there's been a lot of controversy because like there's a lot of athletes and a lot of like organizations who are calling like the U.S. to like not participate and stuff because of like it's in China and they have a bunch of human rights abuses.
Yeah.
And all that
I mean,
kind
we're
of stuff.
already like diplomatically boycotting them, but I don't know if there's anything else going on.
Yeah, I mean, this one just has like I've heard a lot more controversy about it.
There's always controversy.
Honestly,
True.
like I don't really understand like what the point of the Olympics is.
It's just a tradition from very long ago.
I mean, it's a tradition from like 100 years ago. Like, not many traditions are. I
It's
mean,
like also a place for like the athletes who like work their entire lives to like show off their skills and compete and like be the best.
I guess, but I mean, you could say the same thing about like the NFL, NBA, like basically any.
Not really.
No, because this is like a worldwide thing.
I guess, but like it
Like
just
imagine
feels
if
like
you were,
I don't
imagine
know.
if you were one of those athletes. Like this gives you a platform to like show your
yeah,
skills.
but like it just feels like every time they like do the next Olympics, everyone's like, this is gonna cost so much money. They bribe the IOC anyways. They're using slave labor to build whatever like stadiums like like fucking like what Qatar.
It's also like the most watched in like internationally the most watched TV event.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I thought it was like the World Cup.
I thought it would be the World Cup as well.
Watch.
Like soccer is one of the most.
Soccer is the
It's
most
football.
popular
It's
sport.
football.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight. It's football.
Football.
Like, yeah, America's dumb. It's football. But yeah, it's like the most watched sport for sure. There's no way it's not.
I don't know why they don't just like pick like one place and just like have the Olympics there every 4 years.
Because then that country has such a huge advantage.
Then just like, well, okay, wait, advantage? Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Rig the stadium to like only people from like their specific
not like
country?
the Rio.
Like
The Rio.
it's beneficial for like different countries want to host it, right? It's like there's an incentive to host it because like a lot of people will come. You'll get like it'll like help the economy
I
of
mean,
that
that's
country. No?
debatable. I mean, like,
I feel like there must have been a study done on like how hosting the Olympics affects like,
I mean, like
countries'
yeah.
economies.
it really depends on the existing infrastructure. Like, because what happens usually is like for like the Rio Olympics, they'll like end up building like these huge ass stadiums out in the middle of nowhere.
And then they never
Yeah,
get
and then
used
they
again.
never get used again. And, like,
Yeah,
I don't think the tourist dollars honestly offset that.
maybe, but it's also like it's just it's a clout thing as well. Like Qatar wants to host it because it's clout.
I don't know, just like build a fucking stadium out in the middle of the ocean. Just like pop it there.
Yeah, I remember there's this one study about like on that like for which countries has the Olympics actually done more than bad, and I think it's only like cost wise in terms of like bringing in tourism and stuff like that. I think there's only like a couple of places where it actually was good. Okay, but actually, only one soccer sporting event has held the world record for most television broadcasts of all time. Everything else was Olympics. Actually, which is most recently the Euro Cup, just 5.23 billion.
Jesus Christ!
Really?
The next highest is interestingly enough the Rio Summer Paralympics.
Huh.
And then it's London Summer Olympics, and it's the Rio Normal Olympics.
Yeah, I feel like the London Summer Olympics were one of the most watched Olympics of all time. Like I just remember that being so iconic. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then it was Russia World Cup, and then it was Beijing, Atlanta, Sydney, Athens, and then some World Cups.
I mean, I kind of wonder if, like, to an extent, it's just like more people are getting TVs over time.
It's probably that too. But
I just find it surprising that the Paralympics is the most watched Olympic, like, sporting event.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you an ableist, Noah?
You know it.
You hate disabled people?
I hate everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, Noah's equal with this hatred.
Yeah.
My view is that like though like if like the people who are like being racist or sexist or whatever like are not the people in power, like it's bad, but they have like less capacity to like act on that feeling.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like you're not like often gonna see a case where like, you know, a black person is gonna be like, oh, I hate white people, so I'm just gonna like, you know, not hire any white people. Like I'm sure that happens, but like it's not gonna happen as often as like just like a white person being like racist and not.
I feel like
hiring
that's
black
like
people.
I feel like that's exactly like the issue of affirmative action, right?
Yeah, like honestly, I don't like affirmative action because I think people focus too much in college. Like people are like, oh, like you need to go to college to like, you know, get a good job. But like honestly, if you're starting there, like you're already missed the mark. Like you need to start like earlier, like elementary school, middle school, because like if you get to college, like if you get to high school and you've like learned like none of the basic skills because you went to like a crappy ass school and, you know, all the teachers were paid like minimum wage and like none of the kids cared, and you learn nothing. And then like you somehow get to Harvard because of affirmative action. Like it's not gonna help you. You're just gonna struggle and probably fail.
Yeah, probably.
But
I mean that's a bigger issue.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. on the TV set, I'm like looking at these records. There's only two events that aren't either FIFA or the Olympics that have held international record for most like views on television. One is an Elvis Presley concert, and that was in 1973. So it honestly probably like one of the first few like televised concerts. And the other are a bunch of Muhammad Ali fights. He has so many fights.
Wait, how are they measuring like per capita or like what?
Just estimated audience in billions, I think.
Is it adjusted for like world population?
Yeah,
I don't think it is adjusted.
No, I honestly I feel kind of skeptical about that.
I mean, if it's adjusted, it should be just even more than what it already is.
Yeah. I mean, like, because if it's like a Muhammad Ali fight, like when he was like boxing, the world population was like probably less than like the number of people now who have TV sets.
That's true.
This is
like
true.
If anything, it is probably more like percentage wise.
Yeah.
Speaking of a lot of people watching, Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah.
Is it?
We have today's Sunday. Yeah. So the
Wait, when's the Super Bowl happen?
Not
yet.
It's next weekend, the 14th.
I know it's usually in February.
13th. I mean. Yeah, it's the 13th.
Yeah.
So
2 weeks
basically
from, 2 weeks from today.
now.
And the Super Bowl always takes me by surprise. Like, I just like don't think about it, and then people are like, "Oh, the Super Bowl's tomorrow." I'm like, "Shit, is it?"
Yeah, but today is the 30th.
Today's the AFC and NFC, right?
Our conference championship. Yeah. So today we will see the Bengals play the Chiefs and the 49ers play the Rams.
I did not like. I'm not like super into football or whatever, but like the Bengals, like they haven't been good for a long time.
Yeah, I can't remember the Bengals being very good. I've always really loved their logo, though. I don't know why. Okay. I just really liked it. I was just like, they are the Bengals. They are Tigres. They attack.
Tigres.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs will probably beat them, but
Yeah.
Here's to hoping. I remember there's one football clip that I've seen a lot where it's like this Bengals player. I forgot who it is. But he literally just like backflips or front flips into the end zone.
The end zone. I've seen this clip too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome clip.
You don't only backflip over someone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just imagine having that level of athleticism. Like, I'll be like backflipping all over the place.
It's not just like, it's impressive, right, that he backflips, but he also has like all of that football stuff on it. So he has like, the shoulder pads, the helmet, like all of that garbage on him. And just backflips. Like it ain't a thing. He's just built different. I don't know what to say.
Constructed alternatively.
Yeah. Compiled uniquely.
No, I'm kind of wondering, like, why is it like the Cincinnati Bengals? Like, who is like, you know what Cincinnati's known for? Bengal Tigers. We got them all over the place.
Whoever owns the team gets to decide what their mascot is. So maybe he just likes tigers.
Huh.
I am the tigre. I am the tigre.
Oh, apparently the zoo contains like a rare white Bengal tiger, or it did like 70 years ago.
Oh, yeah, isn't the Cincinnati Zoo like a very famous zoo?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a zoo connoisseur.
What is the one with Harambe?
That's an important question.
Asking the real question too. That's Columbus. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
Are you sure?
Wait, shit.
No, you're wrong. It was the Cincinnati Zoo. No, it was the Cincinnati Zoo. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, the Bengals killed Harambe.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Damn.
Harambe.
Yeah, when Harambe died, that's when like the world went to shit. Never been the same since.
Actually, now that I think about it, like,
when was that? What
2016.
Like kind of,
What?
I feel like we didn't have dumb shit happen before Harambe was alive.
Yeah, but then we had Endgame come out, so that saved a lot of me.
Yeah, Endgame pretty hype.
Yeah. I feel like I know we talked about this before, but like 2019 was like a very good like ending year. It was like like 2019 was the year we graduated. Endgame came out. Like the final Star Wars came out. Like that was the year before COVID. Like I feel like 2019 was like the year of endings.
Maybe.
And it was the end of the decade. So like
I guess.
Yeah.
True. It all kind of wraps up nicely. Except COVID.
You guys know what to do if a gorilla charges at you in the wild?
Play dead.
I have no idea.
Well, it depends. First, you have to like see if it's like super aggressive or if it's just like checking you out and stuff, right? You're supposed to be very, very calm, and you're supposed to not look into their eyes, and you're supposed to like curl up into a fetal position, and like you kind of will make yourself kind of look like a baby monkey, kind of, right? And it will, if everything goes to plan, it might like go through your hair and like groom you and stuff. Start like you're supposed to smack your lips, because that's like the sound they make when they groom each other, and then hopefully it like doesn't view you as a threat and like leaves.
Just what if it just takes you home, like adopts you, like this is my child now?
Then you become Tarzan.
Yeah, then you become a Disney hit movie. None no. Wow, the more you know.
Yeah.
We should have a survival segment.
We did for some time.
We have
watched
talked
that one
about
TV
it.
show.
What, my TV show?
Yeah, you watched that like survival TV show.
Yeah, I did. I know how to. For some reason, I've watched the entire series, and I know how to survive a whole bunch of stuff because it's called Primal Survivor. Basically, what this guy does is he goes around and lives with like native tribes to that region for like a couple of weeks, and then he teaches you how to do what they do. So like, there's some authenticity to it if like the native people are the ones doing it. Like it's not like a Bear Grylls type of thing.
Well, Bear Grylls. Always got to wonder, what is that cameraman doing? How is he doing his thing?
I mean, like he's got a whole camera crew with him, so it's not really one dude.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
It's all just a good meme. Moving on.
But like, to be fair, he's a good entertainer.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with what he's doing.
Yeah, it's just
as long as he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, rest in peace, Steve Irwin. That man was the GOAT. I don't know why I just thought of him.
I don't know. Like that really doesn't have anything to do with survival. He was just like,
I just thought of him.
He was
like nice animal guy. Like
he was a nice animal guy. I don't know. I just watched him a lot when I was a kid, and then someone was like,
you know,
the stingray has done the betrayal, and I was like,
a couple of years ago, like the Google Doodle was of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And PETA released a statement saying that like Steve Irwin caused his own death by like harassing these stingrays.
Okay, I heard someone say that like PETA is like a false flag thing by like, you know, large meat packers or whatever to like try and discredit like veganism or like animal rights movements, and like honestly I believe it. Like there's no way you can be unironically that dumb. Actually no, there is a way, but like hopefully not.
You underestimate.
What did they
do?
You
underestimate humans, though.
Huh?
What did you say they did?
I said like there's a conspiracy that like PETA is like a false flag movement by like, you know, like meat packing and like like the factory farm industry to discredit animal rights movements, and I kind of buy into that, honestly.
Well.
I mean, there's absolutely a scenario where like there's enough like dumbass people in the world to like believe that genuinely. I just hope it's not the case. I'll probably be disappointed though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between like what they're doing and advocating for animal rights.
I mean, they're just idiots.
Indeed, there is. I feel like you can say this about most of the population. We have definitely talked about how surprised all of us were at like the average level of intelligence in the United States.
Yeah.
It's just because I really think it's because we went to like a very, very intelligent school system.
Yeah. Very like highly rated school system. No.
Like
I think Jasper has
the people around us were just like OP.
Crackheads, dude. They're all a bunch of crackheads, like in a good way.
I mean, also the crack way. They probably also have some crack.
Yeah. There's no way they're just like maxing all their classes permanently. Without a little bit of that you know,
that special juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like,
do you take crack in juice form? What?
Yeah, no, you smoke. I mean, I don't know how. I know you snort it up like that is a way. But there's probably like other ways. Yeah.
Bro, can you imagine like what like high level geometric shapes these guys? They're not just doing it in a line. They're doing it in like
they're like they make tesseracts.
They're doing like OChem with their cocaine lines. Dude.
It's true. One of the things we learned to do in OChem 2 was synthesize methamphetamine.
I love.
Like that is one of the, like it's a very common reaction.
Oh, you know, fun fact, if you look up who synthesized crystal meth, it was some Japanese chemist named Ogata, so I feel like I'm probably related to that guy in some way.
I was like, that's my heritage, baby. Soon enough, stating the obvious, will no longer be a country, but it'll just be like a meth little like trailer park van.
Love. There's this movement for like monitored injection sites where like the government actually gives you illicit drugs of like heroin and cocaine and stuff and like monitors you so you don't do anything stupid, but you still like you get a more pure form of the drug so you don't die and stuff.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But then at that point, are you enabling them?
No, because like I mean, if you're monitoring them, like you can start like try and like treat them by like, you know,
they can wean
like
wean
getting
them
down off of it.
Yeah, but I just don't know how that would like.
I mean, let's be
like,
real. They're gonna try and get it anyways, right? Like,
yeah.
That's how addiction works.
And if it has like even like a gram of what is it like? Is it fentanyl?
Yeah, fentanyl. Is
then they'll
wasn't
decide.
there a debate case around that once? There's
a debate case about literally everything.
Oh, yeah. Dude, fucking like what was
I
like
swear you guys read
buprenorphine?
it.
It was buprenorphine.
Fentanyl? No,
Yeah,
there was one.
buprenorphine.
Yeah.
That's
Bro, buprenorphine. Dude, no.
We spent so much time trying to figure out how the fuck you pronounce it. We're just like out there like oopa-doopa-doo.
I remember one time Noah was reading constructive and he tried to say buprenorphine and for like a solid 10 seconds he could not say
Because
buprenorphine? Is it buprenorphine?
like Visma like literally put that in like 5 minutes before we got up, and like I was just like reading it. Like I hadn't read this constructive before. I was like reading this thing just like off like you know offhand, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh god.
I mean, you put that word in front of like somebody without telling them how you pronounce it. See how they perform.
Dude, but every single crossfire we dominated them because they couldn't respond to our argument because they couldn't pronounce it. They're like, that thing that you mentioned. It's like, what is it? What thing are you talking about? Tell me.
You know,
no,
you know what the most dangerous like toxin or drug is on Earth?
Isn't it like
your mom?
Like Botox?
Yeah, is Botox. You
oh,
know,
really? What the hell?
yeah,
Why?
I mean, it's like a neurodegenerative agent.
Yeah, it's a neurotoxin.
Why do people put it in their face?
Because that's what it does. I mean, obviously, it's like a diluted form.
I remember it was
does.
originally made for like some other disease or something. Not disease, but some like condition.
But like wrinkles, like what are they? It's just like an excess of skin. You've lost the elasticity, right? So if you kill all those extra cells, then like you don't have a wrinkle anymore, which is what it does. Like 1 gram of like purified active ingredient is enough to kill 1 million people.
Yeah.
Okay, but has anyone ever taken it as a drug?
Apparently,
they're dead now. If they have.
Apparently, the bacteria that like produces the toxin will like grow on like, you know, garlic stored in like water, because like it's not water, oil, because like it's anaerobic. And ever since then, like I just like had this irrational fear of like garlic stored in oil.
Please stop telling me
literally
these
half
things.
the stuff that Jit could eat. Like,
please, guys. First, it was Cobb with all that other like grouping up garbage, and now it's Noah with this. Like, I just want to live my life.
I'm just telling you, because like the smallest amount would just kill you.
Have you considered shutting up?
I'm just trying to warn you. This one. Now you know. Don't eat garlic stored in oil.
Okay, Noah.
I'm just telling you.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is truly bliss, guys. It is. It is.
Wait, so then when they inject it into you, how much Botox do they put into it?
Very diluted form. It's like picograms worth.
Wait.
Wait, I remember when we talked about this. We had to take a
Fredados.
Oh my god.
I love how DJ and Jim have their own language of just sounds.
We had an entire conversation as that. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Speaking of nonsense, Clash happened.
Rip,
We promised you guys an update. So we're gonna give it to you. Here's what happened. It was bad. It was really bad. We should have just done what we had been practicing, but then we were like, "Oh, I can pick Vladimir," and then I got camped really hard, and then we lost the game.
I mean, look, like you were like, "Oh yeah, I can carry this." We're like, "Yeah, Viswa's got this." Viswa did not have this, and like we just got it absolutely.
Look, what
Yeah.
if there's 4 people in my lane? Like I can't. I'm
Look,
like,
I mean, we knew, we got to win through mid. Like we understood that.
No, the problem was it had been like a minute since Puck had jungled. But
Yeah.
there's not to say like he did bad, but like also like it was just
Oh yeah,
Weird.
Puck hadn't jungled in a long time. Also, my support is like not as like aggro as Puck, and like can't like all I can do is support is just get kills and try to like Omega win our lane. But like
I want to like kind of add like an asterisk there. Like when you say get kills, you're not solo killing them. You're stealing kills.
Yeah. All I can do in lane is try to make sure we win lane.
amazing. truly a challenger level explanation there.
Like I feel like the problem wasn't Jit mid, wasn't Jit getting like camped or anything. I feel like the problem was Puck was not on support. And he does so much across the map for everybody
quite a bit
when he is the support.
Yeah, I feel like my mid, even Galio does a lot more now than
when he plays support. Normally, like the lane doesn't like spiral out of control, but their bot lane kind of spiraled out of control. This Jin was like their Jin was so bad.
I thought we did pretty decent.
No, we got
you guys got rolled. What do you mean? You had absolutely no pressure for anything. Like you were constantly under tower.
Yeah, I think we had to play Omega safe because they just
will
have
lose
this
like CS under tower because like it's just hard. And they'll get plates and stuff, and then they also like Alistar can permanently roam when you guys are
showing. Was the problem. Right? Holy shit.
The only one who won lane was me.
Yeah.
I was against that Maokai.
I mean, but we knew that was gonna happen going into. Like, I knew I was gonna lose lane. Like, there's no world in which like I'm able to hold lane there. I was just hoping that mid would get fed enough, but
but the problem is like because you guys like don't have any pressure, it just lets Alistar freely just do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, we should have just stuck with what we practiced. We should have just.
Yeah, I should have just jungled because I'm probably like.
I mean, you're honestly you're the best jungle out of all of us. Like that's no question.
Yeah.
It's no question.
Yeah,
it's
the best. Honestly, like. Yeah.
He's best at everything except support.
Yeah, I'm fucking dog shit support unless I play like Swain or Set.
I mean, like I don't know, like
which case he is not supporting. He's just carrying.
I'm not saying I'm the best support. I just like playing those champions.
I mean, like I don't know, like every time I played like ADC with Viswa support, like we just roll lane. Like it's not even the question.
Yeah. I don't. It's just because I just tell Noah, I'm just like, we're gonna go, and then Noah's like, we go, and then we just attack.
we will literally just like kill them level 1, level 2, level 3. Like they come back.
It's because I play all the bitch ass supports. I'll play like Set and like Flash on them. I'll play like Swain and just like yeet them and do half their HP, or I'll play Brand and just burn to death. I remember one time I just W'd someone, and they died. From full HP, they died because I had Liantries, I had Demonic Embrace, I had my passive, and I had Elder Dragon. So they burned from full HP and they just died.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because like we'll win lane and then this will be like Swain. It'll be like hella fed. And he won't roam. He'll just move up to mid and be like, get out of my lane.
I'll start taking everything. Yes, honest. And then like we'll be like 10 more minutes into the game. I'll be like, should I sell my support item? MK's like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna sell my support item.
Every time he's like, please don't. You dumbass.
Yeah, the please don't. Truly an icon.
But there was that one game when I had the Rengar steal and you were playing Swain. Remember when everything just perfectly came together? Because like in order to make the Rengar steal happen, like Noah had to do something, and then you had to go in, and like Zhonya's the perfect time.
Actually, yeah, it was really funny. I think did I die in that fight?
Probably.
I think I did
at some point.
Yeah. So in that dragon fight, what happened was the dragon was low, right? It was Elder Drake, and it was like about to be in smite range, and so what happens is Viego actually kills me, and then it's in smite range. And instead of smiting it, Viego decides to become me. He's like, and so he can't smite it while he's doing that. So He just switched the Drake and then we win.
Just like sneaky. Oh yeah, that led to the win immediately after too. Shit.
Yeah, and then we won the game. That was so funny.
We should next clash. I don't know when the next clash is, but we will give you guys an update. We will do the clash again.
We will do the clash. I will 100% jungle this time. Pranay will go mid. Especially that would have been such a great game for Pranay to go mid because Galio into Echo, like Echo ever just approaches the Galio. Galio's just like, fuck you.
Hello.
Yeah, so I mean,
I also just feel very comfortable in Galio now. I don't know.
We did have one good game.
Yeah,
I feel like. Yeah, I had a couple of good games.
I'm not talking about your games. I'm talking about the game.
The
most
iconic
iconic League of Legends game we've ever played. This happened
2 days
technically ago. 2 days ago. Yeah, technically yesterday, but 2 days ago.
Okay, whatever.
But 2 days ago we had. I don't even know if there's there's just not a better game than this for us in the cards. I think.
I mean, we were just losing.
Let's explain, shall we?
The entire game.
Yeah. So here's our strat. Let us explain a little bit about this. And if you don't know anything about League, I'm sorry. Noah is playing Scion. This character is very well known for inting. Noah plans on inting, which it just means feeding his ass off to the enemy for a purpose, which is to get all the turrets. Because the way you win the game is you kill all their turrets, then you kill their nexus, and you win. So Noah's going to die and kill all these turrets. Cobb is playing Yorick. He has the same goal. He dies a bit less.
Minus the inting part.
Yeah. He wants to take the turrets. Yeah. He likes these turrets. He's going to smack them up. Renee is horse.
I'm horse.
He is horse. I am playing Action. So I have the power to swing around, to res my teammate, to do all these things. And then MK is playing Zillion, who also has the power to, I guess, revive his teammates in a way.
Well,
not revive
I think
them,
the
but
thing to explain is you're reviving them as contingent on you killing the other enemy team.
Yeah, so the way Action works is if we'll say an enemy kills Noah and then I kill the enemy, Noah no longer has a death timer. He can just come back to the game. His respawn timer just gets set to 0, basically. So that's the cool thing about Action. I love this champion. And so
he's brown.
He's brown. Representation, Pog. So MK and I are playing in bot lane. Noah is playing against this Yasuo. Cobb is playing against what? Who?
Nar. No, Kled.
Yeah. And then they have a Mumu in the Jungler. And this game is honestly, it just goes so terribly. I think we are down at some point. This Yasuo gets really, really fed.
Okay.
MK and I are doing pretty well bot lane, but like at some point, they have a 9k gold advantage.
I want to preface that I was doing fine against the Yasuo. I was winning the trades, and then Pranay comes up and he's like, I'm gonna dive the Yasuo under tower at level 3. And I tell him, no, don't do that. Don't dive him. He does it anyways. He dies to the Yasuo. The Yasuo gets fed. The Yasuo gets a buff. The Yasuo goes 1v1s me, kills me. He is now a 3-0 Yasuo at like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So suffice to say, this Yasuo is extremely fed. Very, very fed. We get his shutdown like a couple times. I get one. I think Noah gets one. But overall, this guy is just, he has like all his items. He is just super, super fed. And he's not bad at Yasuo either. So
he's just a raid boss.
He's pretty insanely difficult to kill. It just an overall asshole of a character to deal with when he's that far ahead. And so as the game goes on, their gold lead only continues to grow. And eventually what happens is they get the Baron Nashor, which, you know, empowers all of their minions to make them Omega OP. And now they're going to take our turrets and end the game by hitting our Nexus. And so they push in. This final fight kind of happens in our base where the Yasuo and the Kled are fighting all of us. And we almost killed this Yasuo.
Are raised bosses, pretty much.
Yeah, they're both really, really strong. And so I think so Cobb almost kills the Yasuo, but then Yasuo kills him, heals back to full HP.
I killed him and he activated GA.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. So Cobb kills the Yasuo, but he has a second life because
I think the order of events was I can't remember if Viswa died, but like there were like 3 of us were dead, I think.
Yeah, no, you guys overchased that Zeri.
Yeah. So me, Viswa, and Pranay were dead. They were pushing into base. It was only Jacob and MK, so Zillion and Yorick, tried to stop the Kled and the Yasuo, which is like not a fair fight at all. But somehow Cobb manages to kill the Yasuo, like trigger his GA, which like revives him. But then he dies, and I come out of base. Like I tried to like fight these guys. I die. Renee also comes out. He dies somewhere along the way. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to him. So we
were
both now
very close to killing Yasuo, and then he just like Omega life steals off of Noah.
Well,
insane.
You
And
then, also stop the double bomb.
And then Puck Puck also dies.
I was trying to push him back into the turret.
Yeah, it's just now Kled and Yasuo versus just Viswa. Kled decides to go for the turret to kill the last turret that will open up our Nexus, will allow him to like kill the Nexus and end the game.
But at this point, Yasuo has gotten a quadra kill. Right? You can take the rest of the story from here now.
Yeah, dude, like you can see it in his eyes. Like he's been ahead all game, right? He is big dick and he's walking into the enemy base. He's just killed like 4 people, right? He's going for the penta. He wants to end this game by like, on a high note, right? Get the penta, end the game right there. Like he's been carrying the whole game. He's a big man. But then he walks up to Viswa and Viswa's like, no, I'm gonna sit in my base. I'm gonna auto you. You can't do shit because you got a little sword and I got this gun. And then Yasuo's like, I gotta kill this guy. So he runs into our base, and the fountain's just like, you have chosen death. And Yasuo dies to Viswa, and all of us just like, it's just fucking end game portal sequence. Like, all of us run out of base because Akshan can like revive his teammates.
So I get the 4-man res, and then everyone just comes in, runs at the Kled. The Kled is like, I'm trying to get out. Bob puts down the cage. No. We kill the Kled. A wave's pushing in top lane because of all the work Cobb has put in thus far. They only have 1 turret left before their Nexus. Cobb teleports in.
All
the rest of us running to the base. The call to end, the desperation before Yasuo spawns. We're running. Cobb, the tower's full HP.
Big boy,
tick,
he hits him
tick. Boom. The tower's gone. All that stands is the Nexus. Cobb gets 1 hit on the Nexus, dies. Akshan swings in. I keep hitting the tower. MK's watching me hit the tower. Renee is confused, but he eventually makes it to the Nexus as well. I'm hitting the Nexus. Renee hits the Nexus. I die. MK revives me with the zillion powers. Renee dies. I keep hitting the Nexus. Lux sees Noah running in. Throws the root. Noah. Flash. God tier. Prowler's Claw. Schmixing travels 19 yards from Africa onto the Nexus. Noah smack. Me smack. Game over. Victory.
Oh, what a turnaround!
It was just a
absolute
poetry
destruction. Complete, utter, unholy, unrivaled destruction.
Like, the fact was, the reason why they lost was because Yasuo got the quadra kill.
He greeted for that pentakill.
Yeah.
And I punished him.
I mean, and that if he let anyone else kill us, we wouldn't.
No, because Viswa can only revive the people killed by 1 person. If Yasuo had gotten 2 kills and Kled had gotten 2 kills, Viswa could only revive 2 people. But because Yasuo got the quadra, but he hadn't killed Viswa, 4-man res.
The 4-man
Everything had to be so perfect because we needed all 4 of us, or all 5 of us,
to end that game. To end that game. Every single one of us was needed. Every single one of us came back to finish the job. And goddamn, did it feel good.
Yeah, because we had to stop the Kled from running away too, right? Like, if he just ran away all back to base,
if he just got back, we couldn't have ended the game.
Cobb wouldn't have been able to take those 2 turrets.
Yeah.
I mean,
luckily, the Zeri was so useless that she just
yeah, just imagine how bad that Zeri feels.
Yeah. everything, it just went perfectly. End of the game. The game was like 35-ish minutes. They had a 9.7k gold lead.
Yeah, no,
Which is a shit ton. Which is a shit ton.
Significant amount. That's like several items. That's 2 whole, almost not 3 death caps, but like it's 2.5 death caps. That's like,
I mean, like the thing was like there was never a point in the game where they peaked and we started like coming back, right? The entire game, they were getting farther and farther ahead. Like the entire game. If you look at the gold graph, it is just a mountain.
Except for the very first minute, we were ahead by 636 gold.
And then it just turns around.
Yeah, and then after
it
that,
doesn't
it's all
stop finding away.
God, it was so good. And especially like let's say this was like a different character, not a Yasuo, it just wouldn't have felt as good. But it was like Yasuo, which just made it like even better.
Like you know that Yasuo was upset. In the space of 1 minute, he went from having it all. He went from almost ending the game with a pentakill to seeing all of it just crumble to dust.
Oh God, amazing. Truly just artistry. And then we end up in the post-game lobby, all chat. I just start typing. I'm a keyboard warrior now. Mad question mark? Mad question mark? Dog Yasuo. Sit. Doggy, leave the game. Such a good time.
We're never gonna top that game.
It's just not possible. Like that is definitionally a comeback. God, the feeling of like euphoria in that moment was just, it's unparalleled.
Everything was so perfect. So many things had to go right, and they all lined up.
I mean, nobody thought we could do it. Like, you absolutely knew. Like, none of them thought that we were getting the end of the game.
I mean, I for sure didn't think. Because we just lost the game.
Because, like, we looked at the replay, and the other 3 people on their team after Kled and Yasuo died, they weren't, like, back at base, like, oh, shit, like, they're gonna go for our base. They were just, like, all up in our jungle, just, like, farming our buffs. Because they were probably like, what are they gonna do, right? We're still so far ahead. But then Cobb TP's in and it's just like...
and then they're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Nice Nexus towers.
The hero's entrance, dude. Cobb literally, like, he pulled up like Thor from Infinity War, dude. Cobb just TP'd in. Boom! Bring me Thanos.
If only I had the maiden with me, I would have done so much more damage.
I mean, like, even
but the
by
maiden
yourself.
had to die fighting the good fight. You wouldn't have gotten that Yasuo's GA off without Maiden.
No,
Maiden fought the good fight.
Yeah.
God, everything went perfectly. By the way, like, Yasuo almost killed the Maiden. He missed the tornado by like a millimeter to kill the Maiden, and so Maiden got to heal, and then Cobb managed to get the GA off Yasuo.
I remember.
Although I don't know if it would have mattered, because since Yasuo ate the fountain damage ignores GA, by the way. If you die to fountain damage, you don't res.
Shit, really? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, you just die. It's kind of nuts.
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe, because like, but the thing was, like, Yasuo, like, being in GA, like, put him out of the fight for a little bit, and
which allowed time for us to respawn and stuff. Yeah, otherwise I think he just would have ended.
No, we needed all of that to go right.
Yeah, like, it was crazy because you guys respawned, right? And then you start running to try and stop this Yasuo. MK is like clearing the way for his life. It's just like, we can't let these minions get to our turret.
And like, I
remember as soon as we res, I just started screaming. I was like, "Come team me, come team me."
I mean, League of Legends is honestly a bullshit game, like 80% of the time. 10% of the time, it's just all right. 5% of the time, you want to just like kill everybody around you, but that last 5%, it's where the memories come from. The good ones,
truly,
the good ones, not the bullshit ones.
Yeah,
to them it was bullshit. To them, that's a core memory. It's bullshit. But God, there's just nothing to describe how that felt, and I don't think we can ever top that, guys.
I don't think so.
We peaked.
The only thing that would have made that better if it was Clash Finals.
Oh
God!
Can you imagine? Yes. Dude, I would have lost my shit.
Oh God! I think Jim would have just like ran outside of his room.
Dude,
he just went left.
Yeah, I would have just been. I would have been howling. But Truly just fantastic. Yeah, with that beautiful recap by all of us, beautiful gameplay by all of us, thank you guys for listening to today's episode of Stating the Obvious. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to smack up that like button, leave a comment, talk to us, find out, what stuff you want to know from Cobb. Bombard us with the medical questions. We'll be sure to ask him. Make sure to follow us to stay tuned on medical stuff and other facts that you could have probably lived your life better off without knowing. And thank you once again for listening. Make sure to check us out in future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.